Hi guys, welcome to today's lesson. We're looking at the properties of a normal distribution. So just briefly, remember going through the bell curve where we have the mean, we have the z-scores separating by our standard deviations. And I have previously mentioned that they are split up into certain percentages. And that's how obviously the normal distribution works. The majority of people will be between 1 standard deviation. Then as you go further out, so the less marks and the very high marks, we have a very small proportion. So I'm going to look at how to get those percentages, how we learn them, and then some questions about how to do them. So first of all, this is where they say 68% of all scores should be between 1 and minus 1 standard deviation. So when we're looking at this, I'm going to just draw up my my normal distribution. And so if it's saying that 68% of scores are within 1 standard deviation of the mean, that means that because it's equally distributed and it's symmetrical, it means that they're broken up into 34% each. Then if I look at to 2 standard deviations with the mean, it says up here that it's 95% all the way across, which is going to be the majority of your scores. Now, if I want to find out what those little individual pieces are, we can do 95 subtract 68. Okay, that leaves us with 27%. Now, if I halve that, because again it's asymmetrical, it's evenly distributed, that gives us 13.5% in each of these pieces. Now, if I stretch it all the way out to 3 standard deviations, which is going to be pretty much all of our numbers, or all of our percentages, it says it's going to be 99.7%. Now, likewise, if I want to find out what those little pieces are between -2 and -3 and 2 and 3, I'm going to do 99.7 subtract 95. Okay, and that's going to leave us with our amount of 4.7%. So again, if I halve that, we get 2.35% and 2.35%. And then if I look at the little bits left over from 3 standard deviations, that's what's going to be left over from 99.7, which is 0.3%, which again, half that would be 0.15% and 0.15%. So unfortunately, you have to learn these percentages. That's just the nature of this sort of question. Now, some people will learn it from those ones there, but for me, the easiest way is just to learn the 34%, 13.5, 2.35, and 0.15, and then that is, because it's symmetrical, it's replicated on the left-hand side. So let's have a look at some questions, some HSC questions that will be along the lines of this sort of question. So a factory produces bags of flour. The weights of the bags are normally distributed. The minute I hear that, I start thinking about my bell curve. It says that the mean is 900 grams. We've got a standard deviation of 50, and it's talking about the percentages that are above 1,000. So what I'm going to do 1 standard deviation, which is going to be 950, 2 standard deviations, which is 1,000, 3 standard deviations, which is 1,050. Now I could go and do the -1, the -2, the -3, but to be honest, I don't really need those, because what this question is asking me to do is what percentage is above 1,000. Okay, now we know that this is going to be 68 here, this is going to be 13.5 here, that's 2.35 and 0.15. Therefore, if I'm looking for this, we're looking for the 2.35 and the 0.15, which is going to be 2.5%, which will be the answer of B. Alrighty, so you can see it's not too bad, but you can see also why it's so important to know how to put these amounts on your normal distribution. Okay, let's have a look at the next one. In the town of Borough, the ages of residents are normally distributed. Alright, again I'm going to draw my bell curve. Now it says the mean is 40 and it has a standard deviation of 12. So we're looking at one standard deviation is going to be 52. We've got 2 and 3 now. Again, I'm going to look at this and say we're looking for younger than 52. Alright, so what we're looking for is actually to the left-hand side of 52. And it says what percentage. Automatically, that part of it is 50% already, because that's halfway, it's the mean. This little bit is 34%, so I simply need to add those together to make 84%, which is going to be D. So again, you don't need to write the whole lot out, just the bits that you need. Alright, the last one, maybe you should pause it and have a go yourself. In a normally distributed set of scores, so I'm going to draw my bell curve. The mean is 23, and we have a standard deviation of 5. So 1, so we're at 28. Now, it also mentions that we want between 33. So I'm going to keep on going up till I get 33. So add another 5, we get 33. There we go. I'm going to go down to -1. That's going to give me 18. I've got that. Now again, you could put the -2, the -3 on there, and the +3 if you so desired. But to be honest with you, all I'm looking for is between 18 and 33, which means I need these percentages. So it says what percentage? So I've got 34% here, I've got 34% here, or 68%, and I've got 13.5%. So if I add those together, we get 81.5%, and that gives me the answer of D. Look, that's pretty straightforward if you know your percentages. And of course, if you know how the normal distribution works with your Z-scores and standard deviations. So please make sure you draw your normal curve out each time, because it will help you with your understanding with all questions, particularly your percentage questions. But see how you go, answer the questions, do the HSC questions. Any problems, let me know. But fingers crossed, that's pretty much your normal distribution topic done. Awesome. Have a great day.